What you're looking at is a full sheet of Depron. It's 27.5 inches by 39 inches. This is 6mm Depron, and we're going to build a Capricorn, or a flying W if you will. Okay, here's the pieces laid out on the table saw. For better contrast, you can see we have the center brace, 2 side braces, a piece of scrap, the 4 main wing parts, pieces, and another piece of scrap. As I cut the pieces, I cut the joining surfaces of the main fuselage on a beveled angle. I don't know if you can see that. So that when they go together, they form approximately the angle you need. A precision bevel cut is not necessary. The foam glue is going to take care of it. So this is how I did the other one. I took these 2 pieces and turned them over, put them together, spritz one with water. Oh, you don't need to do that. It's foam. There's enough moisture in the humidity. Yeah, well, you want to get this done this week, spritz it with a little water. Gorilla Glue likes a little extra water. It's a chemical reaction and makes it foam. It absorbs the moisture in order to foam. Now what I'm going to do is tape these 2 pieces together. I'm using strapping tape. You can use anything you like. Even blue masking tape would be fine. Just happen to have this hand. And I'm going to use the clear Gorilla Glue. Works real well on foam and dries white. I'm going to run a bead along the other side of the joint. Just like that. The bottle says squeeze the excess air out of it before you put the cap on. Smear that glue around. Let's take a stick. This one happens to have been beveled a little bit so I can apply epoxy with it. Doesn't matter. Take a stick and just spread the glue out so you get a nice even coat along the full length of the seam. I'm going to put this over here up against the table saw fence, and I grabbed this piece of lumber out of the pile, a piece of 2x. Looks like I made a 2x4 out of a 2x6, and this is the leftover. I'm going to use this to prop up that side of the wing. Here's my gauge. Larry says you want this to be between 4 and 5 inches. So this doesn't get away from this. I'm going to put a little weight on there and keep it flat. This is my little gauge, see, 4.5 inches. And I'm a little bit too far in. How's that? Perfect. Alright. Simple. You really don't even need to put it up against anything. Just put a weight on it, keep it flat on the surface. I used a piece of lumber. You could prop it up with a sanding block. Whatever you got at hand. Just so it doesn't move around while the glue's foaming up. Now, look at that glue. It's foaming up already. See if I can zoom in on this. See? 5:30. Well, it's now 6 o'clock, and our joint looks pretty good. The glue is dry to the touch. It's somewhat resilient. The stock Gorilla Glue gets hard. This isn't hard. But it's certainly good enough to go ahead and work on another part of the model, which is basically doing the big wing joint. Alright, here's the two halves of the wing that we just glued up. Same thing as last time. We're going to pull them together. Get a piece of tape. Get them right tight together. Tape them together with a hobby knife. Get my little Windex bottle I use on the joints. Make sure the tape's in good contact all the way. Open the joint up. I'm going to be brave and just spritz the whole thing. Gorilla Glue. I'm going to be done along one side. If you don't think you've got enough glue on when you're using this stuff, you probably already got too much on it. It really foams up and fills the joints. I trust it. Spread the glue out a little bit. Lines on here are a different model altogether. We want this to be about the same. Shouldn't that piece of tape? As yeah, I brought that wing up to 4.5 inches so that I'll figure this thing out sooner or later. So that we've got our nice W shape, and we'll let this sit for a while. It's 6 o'clock or 5 after.